Imagine being able to post to 9 different social media platforms, generate $10,000 marketing campaigns, and schedule a whole month's worth of content, all from Claude Code. Well, now that's completely possible with Blotato's new MCP server, and we're going to be going over it today. I'm going to show you a few examples of these things in action. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So if you haven't used Blotato or heard of Blotato before, we've used it many times on this channel. Basically what it is it allows you to post to 9 different social media platforms via one API, as well as many different things like creating posts, scheduling posts, and all that good stuff. So I'm in my Blotato account now, and you can see that you can easily log in to just all your social media platforms here, and then that's it. That's all you need to do. Then you can use one API key and post to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Pinterest, Blue Sky, and YouTube, all of that one API key, which is extremely useful. So they've just dropped their new MCP server, and what we're going to be doing today is setting that up inside of my creative content engine, which I previously shared on this channel before. Now, it's really easy to set this up. If you haven't got a Blotato account and you want to follow along, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. You can get signed up, and I think you can get a 7-day free trial of that as well. But once you're inside Blotato, all you need to do is come to your settings, click API, and you can either copy your API key or you can copy this MCP config. And for this video, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Copy that MCP config, head over to Claude Code and get that set up in there. So I'm inside of Claude Code, and all I've done is just drop that MCP config code that I've copied from Blotato into Claude Code. I'm just going to hit run, and then it's going to go and actually install that MCP for me. It's going to ask you for your API key, but if you copied the MCP config, it should already have your API key in there, so it might not. But if it does ask for your API key, just go back to Blotato, copy your API key, and pop it in there. Once you have your MCP installed, just hit /MCP and click on manage MCP servers, and you can see that Blotato has been connected there. So we're good to go. We're good to use that. What I've actually gone ahead and done as well is I've put together a skill file for you, which is basically just best practices of using the Blotato MCP. So I'll leave that in the description, or if not, I'll leave that in my free school community, where you'll also be able to access the creative content engine to download for free. So you'll have this complete system here, as well as this Blotato MCP skill. Basically, all it's doing here is just a text document explaining how to actually use the different tools that the Blotato MCP has access to. So tool references here: Blotato get user, Blotato list accounts, create post, get post status, create source, get source status, list visual templates, create visual, and get visual status. So it's just a description on each of those, explaining how to use it in the correct way. But essentially, now we've got this installed, we're good to go. We're ready to actually start testing this out. So let's move on to that. There's a couple different steps that we're going to go through in this video, and I'm going to show you how to post to all of these 9 social media platforms via Blotato, and then also generate a 30-day marketing campaign as well. So this is level 1, post once, publish everywhere. So the idea being here, we have a post, we drop it into Claude Code, and we ask Claude Code to post that post to our social media platform. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to be using this AI influencer that I found. Basically, yeah, it's just an AI influencer which seems to be working very well because they've got 393,000 followers, and they sell a create an AI influencer course. But don't worry, I've actually dropped a free video on how you can create an AI influencer exactly like theirs on my channel, so check that out. And there's also other guides in my free school community where I'll actually be dropping a AI influencer course soon as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple of these posts and then push that to some test accounts that I have set up in my Blotato. But one thing I wanted to mention here, don't want to go too off topic, but how they monetize this influencer account is they just have an Amazon affiliate link, which I think is actually a really good idea. I'll be dropping some more AI influencer videos shortly, and how to get this all set up. So stay tuned for that. Again, you can check out my free school community below. But yeah, sorry to go off topic there. So we're going to take a couple of these posts. So inside of now Claude Code, we go to the reference images, we can look at the inputs, and we can see a couple of posts. Let's check out this other one. Cool, so all we're going to do is literally just post that one post to multiple different accounts. I'm going to use a couple testing accounts, so I believe TikTok and Instagram. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I've gone ahead and I've taken that reference video, and we're going to post it to two of my accounts here, two of my test accounts. So let's do that now and wait for it to go ahead and post. So you can see it's calling the Blotato post skill, and it's going to start by verifying the connection and fetching my accounts. So our post has been published to both of our testing accounts. As you can see here, both posts are live, the platforms, the accounts, the status, and then the links to view the post. So let's actually go ahead and view these posts. So we're live on TikTok here, and we are live on Instagram here as well, which is pretty cool. Essentially, all you need to do now is just drop your post into Claude Code and tell it to post to all of your social media platforms. Really easy, super powerful to do. And you know that I love building content systems, and this is just making it way easier to do that. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I've used Blotato many times on this channel in the past, but having this MCP integration now is very valuable, as everything's pivoting to more agentic sort of workflows. But there's one more thing that I want to go over before we move on to level 2, and that is actually scheduling posts. Now, the good thing about Blotato is that it has a scheduling feature built into it. So what we can actually do, if we basically ask Claude Code here to schedule this video for us on these two accounts in a week's time, then it will go ahead and actually do that, and we can view that within Blotato. So let's go ahead and actually do that right now. So I've just asked, or I'm going to ask Claude to schedule this image or this video here, so this different one, on the same two accounts for the 10th of March 2026, which is in a couple days time. So let's go ahead and do that now. Boom, and just like that, both posts have been scheduled. So let's head back over to Blotato. So back in Blotato now, if we click on calendar, we can see under upcoming posts, we have the 2 posts that we've just scheduled for the 10th of March on TikTok and on Instagram. And if we click on the calendar view, we can see that our 2 posts are scheduled for TikTok and Instagram at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 10th of March. We can also see the 2 posts that we've published today. So super powerful stuff. Now let's move on to step 2. So level 2 or step 2, we're going to be creating 30 days worth of content instantly and then scheduling that all via Blotato. Now I've gone ahead and found this brand called Fabric of the Universe. They're basically just a clothing brand and they use a lot of AI in their posts. Pretty much every post is AI generated with their clothing on there, so pretty cool. But what we're going to do is, or what I've already done is I've gone out and done some research and actually created a brand MD file that I've then dragged and dropped into Claude Code. And then basically what we're going to do from that, we're going to use that to generate us tons of content and then go ahead and actually schedule all of that as well. So you can see here that I have the brand guide. Basically all it is it's just a .md file on some research that I've done for Fabric of the Universe and their brand. So you can see it's just got all of their information, their brand colors, their caption style, and all of that stuff in. Now this is really easy to create. Essentially all you need to do is go back to Claude and say I'm creating a brand guide or brand best practice guide for said company. What do I need from it? Can you ask me some questions to actually build this? And Claude will just walk you through the steps, write the whole document for you just off of a couple questions that you answer, which is absolutely amazing and just basically just makes this process way easier because there's 260 lines here, so it's going to take a while to actually write. If you were going to write that yourself, you may, if you're setting this up for a brand, they may or you may have documents that already do exactly this, but for the purpose of this video I've just gone ahead and got Claude to do some research on Fabrics of the Universe and create me this MD file. I'll leave this in my free school community. If you actually just want to use this for some testing, feel free. But essentially now we've got that, we can then go ahead and actually ask Claude to generate us a marketing campaign for this brand. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get it to update the creative content engine Airtable database with all of the new images that it creates, and that way we can review the images and then decide which ones we want to schedule. And also it will use my prompting guidelines that I have in here. So I've actually added in best prompting practices for UGC content, for studio content, etc, etc. If you want to learn how to do all that, then check out my previous video on this channel where I explain how to actually get this system set up. You can also see that I've dropped in different reference images into the system. So we have 8 different reference images here. It's just a screenshot from their Instagram and then another advert here as well. So I've actually gone ahead and asked Claude to generate me 30 days worth of content using this reference image, so a campaign on that product, and generate a variety of different shots, so UGC style shots, brand shots, studio shots, and then update to our creative content engine Airtable database once it's finished. This is probably going to be a little while, so I'll come back as soon as this has finished. Just before I actually go ahead and tell it to generate this, it's come back with a plan. So let me just walk you through this. 30 ad post campaign plan using this reference image. So we are generating 16 UGC style images. I've got this system set up to generate 2 images for each concept, just so we have more to look at and more to test. So you can see all the concept prompts that it has there, then 12 or 24 brand and editorial images, and then 10 or 20 product shots as well. So really, really cool here. Cost estimate here as well. So this whole campaign is going to cost me $2.40, which isn't bad at all. So I'm going to hit yes, let it proceed and do its thing, and then I'll come back once it's done. Okay, so just like that, our 30 images have been completed for our campaign. So let's actually take a look. Completely done. Here's the summary. 30 out of 30 records created in Airtable, 0 failures. 60 images generated, so 2 variations per record. So it's given us some different categories: UGC style, brand, editorial, studio, product. And yeah, let's actually go check those out. So I'm inside of the Airtable now. This is the creative content engine that I shared in one of my previous videos. So if you haven't got this set up, go watch that video and get this set up. You can download everything from my free school community. Let's actually check a few of these out. So you can see we've pretty much got a whole marketing campaign here. Got some UGC style ones. That one's quite nice. Some of them aren't perfect, but a lot of them look pretty good. That's why we get 2 generations, just in case one of them doesn't look great. We can always go to the next. That one's quite a cool shot. And then the cool thing about this creative content engine is we can actually turn these videos, or these images, sorry, into videos really easily just by talking to Claude. So we go back to Claude. We would say turn ID 59 into a video using Kling 3 or Sora 2 Pro or VO 3.1, and it will actually go ahead and generate a video for you. I'm not going to do that in this video, but if you want to learn how to do that, then check out my previous video about this creative content engine. But essentially, that's it. We've generated our full 30-day campaign. The only thing that would be left to do would be going back to Claude Code and actually scheduling it via Blotato. But I'm not going to do that because I already showed you an example of doing that earlier. All you would do, you just speak to Claude Code and say, can you schedule that 30-day campaign for the next 30 days, 1 post per day via the Blotato MCP, and it will do exactly that for you. But yeah, that's all from me. Again, if you want to download this creative content engine completely for free, the Blotato skill MD file, you can do that from my free school community in the description below. It will be the first link. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all soon.